Imagine this for a moment. You're wandering down a busy, bustling street in a major modern city, perhaps somewhere like London or even New York. The sounds of the 21st century are absolutely everywhere around you. Cars honking, people rushing past, and the hum of urban life. But what if, just a few short meters beneath the pavement, an entirely different, ancient world lies hidden from view? Beneath the concrete and steel of our contemporary metropolises, countless secrets of the past are often buried. Think about it. Entire Roman villas, forgotten medieval marketplaces, or even the remnants of prehistoric settlements could be slumbering just out of sight. These discoveries are like precious puzzle pieces, helping us to reconstruct the vibrant tapestry of human history that lies just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. To truly understand how these ancient wonders become hidden underground, we need to talk about a brilliant concept that archaeologists use every single day. It's called stratigraphy. At its heart, stratigraphy is simply the study of layers, or strata, in the ground. Imagine a giant delicious layer cake, with each layer put down at a different time. The bottom layer is the oldest, and the top layer is the newest. The ground beneath our feet is often just like that cake, but instead of sponge and cream, its layers are made of soil, debris, and the remnants of past human activity. Archaeologists carefully remove each layer, one by one, meticulously recording what they find. The general rule is simple: the deeper you dig, the older the stuff you find is likely to be. This principle of superposition allows us to build a timeline of a site's history. Different types of soil, changes in building materials, or the presence of ash layers can all tell a story. By carefully observing and interpreting these layers, archaeologists can piece together incredibly detailed pictures of past lives and environments. Now, let's delve a little deeper into how we humans are responsible for burying our own history. This process is often referred to by archaeologists as the accumulation of cultural deposits, or occupation debris. It's really just all the stuff that people leave behind as they live their lives. Every time a house was built in ancient times, materials were brought in, the ground was disturbed, and often the floor level was raised slightly. When that house eventually fell into disrepair or was knocked down, its rubble often wasn't carted miles away. It was simply spread out and built upon. Over years, you might redecorate, replace flooring, or even build an extension. Now, multiply that by hundreds or thousands of years, and by thousands of inhabitants in a bustling town or city. Each generation adds its own layer. Old roads are paved over with new ones. Marketplaces accumulate rubbish, broken pottery, animal bones from butcher stalls, lost items. Defences like city walls might be expanded and rebuilt, with earth ramparts piled up. Even something as simple as sweeping your floor and tossing the dust outside contributes minutely to this gradual rise in ground level over vast stretches of time. It's a collective, often unintentional, act of historical preservation. When you think of a city literally built on top of itself, Rome is one of the ultimate examples. The Eternal City wasn't built in a day, and it certainly wasn't built on virgin ground for its entire history. For over 2,500 years, Romans have been living, building, demolishing, and rebuilding in roughly the same area. This continuous occupation has led to an incredible accumulation of historical layers. The street level you walk on in Rome today can be meters above the street level of the ancient Roman Empire. Take the Roman Forum, for instance. What we see today as a sprawling complex of ruins was once the bustling heart of a vast empire. But even the Forum itself is built on earlier layers. Archaeologists have found evidence of Iron Age huts beneath the grand marble structures. Another classic example of a site where history is stacked up like pancakes is the legendary city of Troy, located in modern-day Turkey. This isn't just one city, it's a whole series of cities built one on top of the other over thousands of years. When archaeologists, most famously Heinrich Schliemann, in the 19th century began to excavate Troy, they weren't just looking for the Troy of Homer's Iliad. They were peeling back layer after layer of human settlement, each with its own story, its own period of prosperity, and often its own destruction. The mound of Hisarlik, which is the actual site of Troy, reveals at least 9 major settlement layers, designated Troy 1 through to Troy 9. As each version of the city was destroyed, the survivors, or new settlers, would level the debris and build their new homes and fortifications directly on top. This created a man-made hill, or tell, which grew higher and higher with each successive occupation. Schliemann, in his passionate quest for Homeric Troy, actually dug right through some of the later, more relevant layers. Later, more careful archaeological work has helped to clarify the timeline, with Troy 6 or 7 now considered more likely candidates for the late Bronze Age city described in the epic poems. Each layer is a chapter in a very long and dramatic history book. While many ancient sites became buried gradually through human activity, some met a much more sudden and dramatic end, resulting in an almost unparalleled level of preservation. The Roman city of Pompeii, near modern Naples in Italy, is perhaps the most famous example of this. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted catastrophically. It unleashed a deadly pyroclastic surge, a superheated cloud of ash, pumice, and volcanic gases that swept over Pompeii and its neighbouring towns like Herculaneum, burying them in meters of volcanic material within hours. This sudden entombment had a devastating human cost, but from an archaeological perspective, it was like hitting a giant pause button on Roman life. The thick layers of ash and pumice acted as a protective blanket, preserving buildings, streets, everyday objects, and even food, exactly as they were on that fateful day. When archaeologists began systematic excavations in the 18th century, they found streets with wheel ruts worn into the stone, houses with their frescoes still vibrant on the walls, bakeries with loaves of bread still in the ovens, and wine shops with their counters intact. They even found the hollow voids left in the compacted ash by the decayed bodies of victims. By carefully pouring plaster into these cavities, they were able to create poignant casts of the people and animals in their final moments. This level of detail provides an incredibly intimate glimpse into the daily lives and tragic deaths of Pompeii's residents. Not all ancient ruins end up hidden beneath layers of earth. There are some fantastic exceptions to the rule, and they often have their own fascinating stories to tell about why they managed to avoid being swallowed by time and debris. These are the survivors, the ones that for various reasons remain visible and often iconic. The Colosseum, for example, while its arena floor is indeed below modern street level, is such a colossal and robustly built structure that it simply couldn't be easily buried or ignored. After its use as an amphitheatre ended, parts of it were repurposed for housing, workshops, even a fortress by a noble family. It was also extensively quarried for its stone, which ironically helped to reduce its bulk, but also ensured its continued presence in the Roman landscape. Its sheer scale and cultural significance meant it was never entirely lost to the accumulating layers of the city around it. Then you have sites like Machu Picchu, perched high in the Andes Mountains. This stunning Inca citadel was abandoned in the 16th century, likely due to the Spanish conquest, though the Spanish themselves never found it. Its remote and inaccessible location meant it wasn't built over by subsequent settlements. Let's journey to one of the most remote inhabited islands on Earth, Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, famous for its enigmatic giant stone statues called moai. For many years, we mostly saw the moai as just colossal heads, or heads and torsos, sticking out of the ground. But recent archaeological work has revealed something incredible. Many of these statues have complete bodies extending deep underground. It's not that the Rapa Nui people buried them, it's more that the ground has, in a sense, risen around them, or rather, eroded away from their original platforms. Over centuries, the island experienced significant deforestation and soil erosion. As the topsoil washed away from the hillsides, it accumulated in the lower areas where many of the moai were erected on their ceremonial platforms known as ahu. This slow deposition of sediment, combined with the toppling of many statues, meant that the lower portions of the standing moai and the entirety of the fallen ones became gradually covered. The excavation of some of these moai has been a revelation, showing intricate carvings on their previously hidden torsos, including details like hands and loincloths, and even petroglyphs. This discovery has completely changed our understanding of these magnificent sculptures and the immense effort involved in carving and transporting them. It shows that what we see on the surface isn't always the full story. Sometimes the most intriguing parts are hidden, waiting for careful investigation. So, as we've journeyed from the bustling streets of modern cities to the remote shores of Easter Island, it's become clear that the past is very rarely truly gone. More often than not, it's simply hidden, lying just beneath the surface, waiting for a curious mind and a careful hand to bring its stories back into the light. The ground we walk on every day, especially in places with a long human history, is often a complex sandwich of different eras, a testament to the countless generations who lived, loved, fought, and built before us. Our modern world is, in many ways, quite literally built upon the foundations of the ancient one. This realization brings with it a sense of wonder, but also a responsibility. As our cities expand and we dig deeper for new infrastructure, we are constantly encountering these hidden layers of history. This is why archaeological impact assessments are so crucial before major construction projects begin. It's a delicate balancing act. How do we build for the future without inadvertently destroying the irreplaceable echoes of our past? The knowledge that ancient ruins are often underground adds an extra layer of excitement to exploration and discovery. It means that there are still countless secrets out there, entire chapters of human history yet to be read.